Today, I'm here with Script Skincare founder and dermatologist, Associate Professor Greg Goodman, who is literally the most published dermatologist in the world on the topic of acne scarring, making him very qualified to answer the questions on our most popular topic. I'm an adult, why do I still have acne? Can you begin by explaining what is classified as acne? Example, do whiteheads fall under this term?
Acne is what's called a polymorphous entity. In other words, it is many things. It's not just one element. So it is made up of blackheads and whiteheads and papules, which are bumpy things on the skin surface, pustules, which are your classic whitehead, cysts, which are big blind pimples, if you like, and nodules.
So we asked our customers to submit questions, and the most common one we got asked was, I'm an adult, why do I still have acne?
It is a problem that people perceive acne as being an adolescent disease, and yes, to some degree it is, but many people actually carry acne throughout most of their lives in some form or another. In fact, 20% of females carry acne into their 40s.
Can you talk me through the danger of using inappropriate products on my skin if I'm prone to acne?
The problem with inappropriate products is that certain ingredients will induce what's called follicular occlusion. In other words, they will block up your hair follicles, and your hair follicles are attached to your oil glands. So you'll induce an acne, and that acne is called acne cosmetica because often cosmetics are involved. It isn't just oils as people perceive as being a problem, it's actually some of the ingredients actually induce this change in the hair follicle directly.
So can acne cosmetica only be caused by skincare products that you're using every day? Or people that come in here for treatments and have to have things like post-procedural numbing cream, could that cause it as well?
Most times it would be something that would be delivered more than once that would cause this problem. But if you actually used a product that was particularly nasty on producing blockages in hair follicles, you could get it from a single application.
Is it always clear whether or not a product is going to actually cause you to break out?
The beauty of having a list of what's called comedogenic substances, things that actually will block the hair follicles that everybody knows, is that the cosmetic chemists know them as well. So if the cosmetic chemists know them and they avoid them in a product, it's for a reason. They're catering for the acne-prone market. If they're doing that, they will tell you about it. They will actually say, I don't produce pimples. They'll call something either non-comedogenic, non-acne forming, non-acnegenic, oil-free. They'll say something that will actually point to the fact that they've bothered to look at those ingredients and have excluded them.
So what you're saying is when you're looking for a skincare product, if you're someone who's acne prone and you're just browsing, say, in a supermarket, you should actually look for those terms on the packaging to try and avoid getting acne cosmetica.
Yes, if you're a person that tends to get acne cosmetica anyway, you want to let the companies do the work for you. And if you're looking for a product, don't bother looking for ingredients that are a problem. Just look for the claims they're making that this doesn't produce pimples.
So truth serum time, do spot treatments actually work?
Spot treatments do work just as well as doing nothing.
Can you explain why?
Because realistically, acne is like a rubbish disposal system. Your skin has had the inflammation, had the blockage, the side wall of the hair follicle and the oil gland has popped into the skin around it, and your skin is expelling that debris out through the skin surface. That debris explosion is your pimple. By that stage, it's way too late to influence its behaviour. So to do anything to that spot is irrelevant.
In your opinion, does exfoliation play a role at all in the treatment of acne? And if so, do you prefer mechanical exfoliation or chemical exfoliation?
I'm afraid I have to be controversial with this one. I don't believe in physical exfoliation at all, except for a very narrow substrate of skin diseases that are not what we're talking about here. In acne, physical exfoliation is detrimental. It will actually induce a change in the skin barrier function and produce an alteration in the bacterial carriage of the so-called microbiome of your skin and be a detrimental effect long term. It also is very bad for the environment. If you think of all the little micro beads of physical exfoliant that end up being in our marine life, it's really not a good thing to be advocating for no reason whatsoever, because it just doesn't help your skin. Chemical exfoliation is a misnomer because chemical exfoliants, inverted commas, things like retinoids, AHAs and BHAs, they actually don't exfoliate your skin. They normalise your shedding. So so-called skin exfoliants, in the chemical sense, really are just making your skin turn over at the correct rate. They're actually just normalising what happens on the skin surface because the skin cells are individual scale that is meant to come off microscopically, and when it doesn't do that, it exfoliates itself abnormally and may actually block hair follicles and various other things. So what the retinoids and the AHAs and the BHAs do is they normalise that behaviour of the skin turnover. And the skin turnover doesn't just happen in the skin surface, it actually happens down the hair follicles as well. So if you can normalise the skin turnover in those sort of structures, then they don't get blocked up.
So we have established that whiteheads are actually a form of acne. Now, I know it's a little gross, but are we allowed to squeeze them?
Yes and no. If they're really, really ripe, and you can tell that just by exerting a little bit of pressure you would expel the pus, then yes, you could probably do that. But in general terms, if there's any doubt about whether you're going to get the stuff out, by squeezing them you tend to do more damage than you help, and you actually expel this bag of pus, if you like, sideways into your skin, and will actually exert an effect on your skin of inflammation and probably cyst formation.
The second most common topic that we got asked about was the legacy that acne leaves behind in the form of acne scarring, which we've already established that you're a bit of an expert on. One lady in her 50s explained that she has had acne her entire life and now as a result has acne scarring, and she wondered if skincare can actually treat it.
First of all, I think we need to differentiate what is a scar. When an acne lesion is healing, it often is red for quite some time after that. And that is amenable to any healing sort of botanical agents in skincare, antioxidants and plant-based products. The problem with established scars is that they require more usually than skincare can provide themselves. You can use products like retinoids, such as vitamin A, to improve your skin collagen production and healing. Same with vitamin C and some of the other topically applied products, but in general that's only a limited value for an established scar.
Another lady asked, how soon after treating your active acne can you begin treating your acne scarring? And if you've been on strong oral medication, does this change?
I think one can start treatment in the presence of red marks or maybe even some pigmented spots that are left over with healing of acne. But generally we tend to wait until the acne has settled before you start imposing physical treatments, as it tends to just get a better result, and you're not confused as to what you're treating, and you don't have to worry about whether the active acne will produce more scars, so you have to then go back and treat again.
Does the strong acne oral medication play a role in whether or not you can be undertaking treatments?
The most common problem with taking strong oral drugs is a drug called isotretinoin or Accutane. The problem with that drug in the past was thought that you couldn't give any treatments while you're on it. Now there's been a realignment of thought leaders to feel that most procedures are safe with that agent. Most of the other oral medications that people are on, either hormonal therapies, antibiotics, topical treatments, are usually okay with most treatments. Some people believe that vitamin A preparations should be suspended around the time of treatments. I'm not so certain that always is the case. I think it's reasonable that vitamin A agents are used for around most treatments, but to be on the absolute safe side, you might want to suspend that for a couple of days before and a couple of days after physical therapies.